So, what if your reality? What if it isn't something that just happens to you? I mean, really think about that for a second. Today, we're going to dive into a pretty radical idea that the universe isn't just this vast, empty space out there, but instead, it's a personal mirror, reflecting back everything that you are.
Yeah, let's just jump right in with that. What if everything you see around you, everything you experience day to day, what if it isn't just passively happening? What if the entire cosmos is kind of holding its breath, just waiting for a signal from you?
Okay, so to really get a handle on this new idea, this new reality, we've got to start by looking at the old story. You know, the one we've all been told, the old universal machine.
So for the longest time, science gave us this model called the Newtonian dream. And the idea was that the universe is basically a giant cosmic clockwork. You know, a huge, predictable machine made of cold, indifferent matter that just follows the laws of physics. It's super impressive, for sure, but it's also incredibly impersonal.
And in this grand machine, where do we fit in? Well, the answer isn't exactly flattering. In that story, you and I, we're just tiny, insignificant specks of dust. We're just kind of drifting along in this infinite, totally uncaring void. It's a worldview that can make you feel pretty small, pretty powerless, right?
So this is where we see a massive shift in perspective. It's a total contrast. We're moving away from that old dream, where the universe is just a cold machine and you're nothing more than a passive observer. And we're moving towards this new reality, where the universe is a living mirror and you are a creative force. I mean, that is the fundamental upgrade we were talking about today.
But here's the thing. That old story, that comfortable mechanical model, it's starting to crumble. And in its place, we're starting to hear a whisper of something completely new.
Yeah, that solid, dependable, mechanical universe we all learned about, well, it's disintegrating. The very foundations of that old worldview are being shaken to their core, and not just by philosophy, but by science itself. And this challenge, it's coming from two, fascinating and seemingly opposite directions. On one hand, you've got modern quantum physics, which is showing us that the very act of observing something can actually change it. And on the other hand, you have the profound insights of ancient mystical wisdom. And the craziest part of all of this, they're starting to say the exact same thing. I mean, this idea, it's not new. It's been around for thousands of years. The ancient sage Hermes Trismegistus put it just perfectly. As within, so without. And look, that's not just some nice poetic phrase. It is a radical statement about how reality actually works. It's suggesting that the world isn't happening to you, it's happening through you.
And that right there, that leads us to the absolute core idea of all of this, that reality is your mirror. If the world is happening through you, well, then the universe is simply reflecting you.
Okay, so let's get this perfectly straight. The universe isn't some separate being out there, judging your actions and then deciding how to react to you. That's the old school way of thinking. No, it doesn't react, it reflects. Like a perfect, instantaneous mirror, it's simply showing you what you are putting out. Your inner world gets projected outward, and that becomes your outer world.
Just think about it. It's a perfect analogy. You can stand in front of a mirror all day long, waiting for it to smile, but it's never going to happen. It can't. A mirror has to wait for you to make the first move. You smile, it smiles back. You frown, it frowns back. It really is that simple and that profound.
Okay, so that's obviously the million-dollar question, right? If reality is just a mirror, then what exactly is it reflecting? What is the you that the universe is constantly showing back to you?
Well, the answer is what we call your state of being. And no, it's not just a passing thought or a fleeting emotion. It's the whole package. It's the specific combination of your most common thoughts, your deepest feelings, and the image you hold of yourself. This state acts like a tuning fork. It sends out a vibration, and it resonates with one specific reality out of an infinite number of possibilities. What physicists might call the quantum field, and what ancient mystics might have called the divine mind.
Now, I know this can all sound a bit abstract, a little out there, so let's make it concrete. Let's look at a personal story from our source material, which really shows us the view from within.
So check out this progression. The author was totally stuck, right? Hated their job, felt trapped, and was constantly asking that classic victim question, why is this happening to me? But then came the pivot, the game-changing shift to a new question. How is this happening through me? That single change led to an inner shift.
This started consciously stating things like, I am wealthy, I am free. And what happened? The mirror responded. The outer world had no choice but to start reflecting this new state. Suddenly, opportunities appeared. Money started to flow.
And that right there is the ultimate takeaway from the whole story. The world outside didn't just magically change on its own first. The change was internal. He changed. And by changing his inner dialogue, his state of being, the reflection in the mirror of reality, well, it had no choice but to change right along with him.
When you really start to grasp this, it leads to one final and maybe most profound perspective of all, that life is a great game.
So many of us go through life feeling like it's a series of tests we have to pass, you know? Like the universe is constantly judging us. But what if that's not it at all? What if the universe isn't some stern headmaster, but more like a playful partner? It's not here to test you. It's here to co-create with you, to play with you. Okay, so the obvious question is, if we're this powerful creative force, why on earth don't we remember it? Well, the source material offers this really beautiful idea called the veil of forgetfulness. The theory is we chose to forget our true nature before we came into this physical reality. And why would we do that? Well, think about it. If you knew it was all just a game, if you knew it was a simulation, the stakes wouldn't feel real. The laughter wouldn't be as real, the tears wouldn't be as real, the growth wouldn't be as real. We chose to forget so that the adventure could feel truly genuine.
But here's the cool part, that forgetting isn't supposed to be permanent. Now, it's your turn to remember. In fact, you could say that waking up and pulling back that veil is the whole point of the game.
So let's just put it all together. The final, most powerful truth of this entire worldview is that we've had it completely backwards. We think we're these small beings living inside a vast universe.
But the real truth is, the entire universe flows through you. It's a projection of your consciousness. You are not in the universe is in you.
And that leaves us with one final thought. Just by hearing this, by letting this sink in, that's the beginning of remembering who you really are. So, the only question left is the one that only you can answer. Now that you're starting to remember, are you ready to be the one to smile at the mirror first